A special report from Ireland on the tight-knit Timorese communities supporting their families from afar. Shipbuilders to advance their careers in Japan. Young healthcare professionals prepare for careers abroad. Rttl.Ep educational awareness campaign empowers rural students. Welcome back to RTTL World News. I'm Jerry Madeira. With a difficult job market at home, many Timorese are heading abroad to countries like Australia and South Korea for better work opportunities. But one of the oldest and largest communities of Timorese diaspora is on the opposite side of the world in Northern Ireland. Jack Montgomery and Salvador de Jesus traveled to the town of Dungannon, where a strong Timorese community is working hard to support their families.
At first glance, it's like any other Irish town. But look a little closer, and you'll see residents wrapped in warm jackets, very far from their homeland.
Amongst the wind and drizzle here in Northern Ireland, you can really feel the 13,000 kilometres that separate this land from Timor-Leste. Both culturally and geographically, we are worlds apart. But there is one key link that does connect these two communities.
Like Timor-Leste, Dungannon is a Catholic majority community. And faithful families come together and fill the pews in the local church just as they would back home. So large is the Timorese cohort in Dungannon that the church invited a Timorese priest to run services in Teton 2 years ago.
So I have own program in East Timor language, like daily mass and then Sunday mass as well.
The cold weather isn't the only major hurdle for Timorese newcomers.
English is, most of them still struggle with that. They don't understand well. So when they come to Mass in English, they understand nothing.
Now we have Teton Mass and everybody very happy because even we are far from East Timor, but we feel at home with the Teton Mass here.
The story of Northern Ireland's Timorese community began when one man from Laga, Mario Gama, moved to Dungannon from Portugal at the turn of the century.
In the beginning, I wasn't earning much. In 2000, it was just £3.35 an hour. But for us, it was already a lot of money.
Filling a labour shortage in the area, Mr. Gama got a job at a local meat processing factory, and many more Timorese would follow.
Life was tough in Portugal, lots of people living together, so it was better to try over here. And after independence in 2002, some went back to Timor and told their friends that Northern Ireland needs workers, so lots more Timorese came.
The early years in Northern Ireland were not easy for Mr. Gama, which, like Timor-Leste, has its own history of internal conflict, with violence between Irish Republican and pro-British forces spanning even longer than Timor-Leste's struggle for independence.
There was also a war still ongoing between the Catholics and Protestants.
But the resilience of the Timorese was strong enough to overcome the challenges and feel embraced by the local community.
I think life here is very tough, but because of the weather and the culture, but the community here accepted us with their heart, and they're very kind to us. That is make us feel at home as well here.
Irish people is so beautiful people here, and they so nice to everyone here. Yeah, so I feel like at home because of their they welcome me also East Timor people in this community. Awesome. Yeah.
According to the last census, there are over 2,000 Timorese people living in Northern Ireland, more than double the previous count, and much of their earnings go straight back home.
Everybody work and everybody sending money back to our country. This is to make our economy is going up, That's we are so happy here.
Some Timorese have even set up shop in Dungannon.
Whenever it's needed, we Timorese always help each other and send money to aunts, uncles, and cousins always.
Over $180 million was sent to Timor-Leste by workers abroad in 2025, with more than 42% of that income coming from the United Kingdom. A vital contribution from a faithful community. Jack Montgomery, Salvador de Jesus, Don Gannon, RTTL World News.
10 Timorese youths have been selected to travel to Japan in September to work in the shipbuilding industry, utilizing the skills they have acquired in Timor-Leste. The Sunisi Shipbuilding Company's technical team visited Timor-Leste last January to conduct testing for new workers. For these workers, this chance is a golden step towards pursuing a better future.
A new adventure for 10 young Timorese soon to be immersed in Japanese society. In a quiet room, a group of 10 young workers met with government officials to discuss their preparations for working in Japan. Bonifacio de Almeida comes from a humble background and worked hard to earn this opportunity.
I did not continue my studies at the university because of economic problems, but I'm grateful because I got into training in Timor for 2.5 years and passed the test to work in Japan.
Another worker, Victor, is eager to learn more welding skills from the professionals in his new workplace.
We all know that Japan is a developed country, so we will take this opportunity to learn more about how to use the technology that they use in welding work.
Having spent 3 years honing their craft at the Timor Training Center, the now certified welders are ready to take their skills to Japan. For both Bonifacio and Victor, this opportunity is a stepping stone to achieving their dreams and providing a better future for their families.
My dream is to create a training center so that I can transfer the knowledge I have to other young people who want to learn about welding.
Through this opportunity, I can help improve the family economy and help my younger brothers continue their study.
Timor-Leste and Japan established a labor mobility agreement in 2023, and this cooperation continues to grow.
Since the establishment of the agreement, companies come directly to Timor-Leste and work closely with the training center to recruit Timorese workers based on their needs and criteria.
These young workers are currently undergoing intensive Japanese language courses at the Senai Training Center in Bekora to prepare for their upcoming departure. The government says it is committed to continuing its support for vocational training centers to prepare a larger workforce for Sunisi's future shipping operations.
Sunisi Company will build their large shipyard in Manatutu, so we had a meeting in preparation for the recruitment of workers. Following the meeting, we recruited the young people to work in the shipbuilding industry in Japan, and when they return, they will work with the company as professional technicians.
The Public Investment and Export Institute Trade Invest is working closely with Sunisi Timor Shipbuilding Company for the project's implementation.
The Sunisi company is a serious investor from a reputable country, and the process is very intensive. Our leaders, from the President of the Republic to the Prime Minister, are fully aware of this project.
A $300 million investment offers job opportunities to 4,000 people.
We don't only need jobs, but we also need a shipyard, because when our port operates, there will be many ships coming, and if there is something wrong with the ships or when maintenance is needed, we can do it here instead of sending it to other countries.
Last year, Timor-Leste's President Jose Ramos Horta and senior ministers visited Sunisi Shipbuilding in Fukuyama City, Hiroshima, to discuss the company's plans to open shipyards in Timor-Leste. More than 20 young Timorese are completing technical internships in the shipping industry in Japan. This cohort of young Timorese workers will work with the Shuneishi Shipbuilding Company in Japan for 3 years. Paulina Quintown, Vicky Madeira, RTTL World News.
Hundreds of young Timorese are improving their skills in aged care, hospitality, and English before seeking jobs abroad, thanks to a new collaboration between Australian and Timorese training agencies. 34 Timorese medicine and nursing students are currently attending aged care training at East Timor Development Agency, learning the skills required to professionally care and communicate with the elderly.
Timorese medicine and nursing students preparing for a career in care abroad.
Here we're learning a lot, especially how to provide care for elderly people, and we're learning how to communicate with elderly people, especially we need to be patient to taking elderly people.
The first group of 34 Timorese students are taking part in a new collaboration between Australian Vocational Management Timor-Leste, AVMTL, and East Timor Development Agency, ETDA. Ms. Moniz chose to pursue a career in aged care to gain experience abroad, although she plans to return to Timor-Leste in the future to implement her skills.
I choose to learn about aged care because, as we know, all elderly people deserve to treat better.
Janito Vicente says the training provided by AVMTL is important to secure employment in a competitive industry.
I feel proud because AVM gives a good opportunity for youth in Timor-Leste to increase our capacity to compete in the international market.
The aged care training is provided by international trainer Damian McGrath for 3 days a week.
Well, I've been working in the care sector for about 20 years. I've been working as a trainer for about 15. I've delivered this particular Cert 3 probably 20 times.
AVMTL also provides English courses to all trainees before continuing professional training such as aged care.
The challenge we face is the language, but the trainer comes to teach us to speak everything in English, so we need to know English first after entering the professional course.
Despite the challenges, trainers aim to prepare trainees as practically as possible.
Their education is actually cared for. They have to go and do 120 hours of placement in a facility. So that's where they learn their practical.
This course is part of preparing Timorese to work abroad through the PALM scheme program.
The students who completed with us, especially they completed the course, the professional course with us, will possibly work in Australia under PALM scheme project.
AVMTL shares the same aims with local training agencies to prepare local professionals to work abroad.
I think it is a need on that because Timor-Leste, especially, we have a lot of youth, Timorese, that I think it's important to increase, invest on that skills in terms of to respond to the employment.
As of January this year, there were 5,245 Timorese working in Australia as part of the PALM scheme across sectors such as healthcare, agriculture, and hospitality. Vicky Madeira, Paulina Quintown, RTTL World News.
An awareness campaign was held to highlight the importance of education for students and parents in Letefo administrative post, Ermera municipality last week. The event reminded and encouraged parents to prioritize their children's education in order to empower them and their futures. Increasing the capacity of teachers and students in rural Timor-Leste.
Through the education, the people or children can get more better future. Then from the education, the children's or wider people, community can access to the employment and then can access to the better life for the futures.
This program is very good for us students because this information can inspire us to continue our studies and become good people.
We have never accessed such a program, so as parents, we are proud because this program can give advice and motivate parents to support their children through school.
Mary McKillop today's education awareness event provided the students and parents of Rttl.Ep with the opportunity to hear from education and inclusion experts. National Director of Persons with Disabilities at the Ministry of Social Solidarity and Inclusion, Domingos Enrique Maya, highlighted the program's emphasis on providing people with disabilities access to education.
The Ministry of Social Solidarity and Inclusion encourages parents to take their children with disabilities to access education because education is an important pillar to transform their mentality.
Rttl.Ep Deacon Alexu reaffirmed the church's commitment to the education sector.
Through education, people and children can get a better future. They can access employment and a better life for the future.
Mary McKillop today's project coordinator also identified basic infrastructure problems such as roads and school facilities remain a barrier to parents and students.
In the middle of the year, some of the children are face or drop out from the schools due to the some of the situation happen during in the classroom, during the environment of the schools that are not really support to the children's learning and activity in the school.
42% of Timor-Leste's population lives below the poverty line, with people living in rural and remote areas such as Rttl.Ep especially vulnerable to poverty and inclusion barriers. Zeri Madeira, Embasti Neroina, RTTL World News. Timor-Leste is taking a bold step into space innovation. RTTL World News reporter Alianza Nunes spoke with Simile IoT manager John Bosco about an ambitious satellite program aimed at training young STEM professionals and tackling real-world challenges like climate monitoring and disaster prevention. While the project still faces many hurdles, it aims to launch the nation's first satellite and build a new generation of engineers.
This CubeSat is not just a satellite. It is going to be a learning platform, and we are involving aspiring STEM professionals through hands-on training through our academy, and also learning electronics, embedded system, and data analysis, and also doing partnerships with universities where students can contribute to the payload, the design, the battery management, the testing, and also the simulations. Right now, we have provided some solution about early warning, flash flood early warning system with our technology, and also for water management, and also human capital development. And we aim to create a pipeline from students to trainee and to engineer and become innovator in the future.
What are the next steps in the program, and do you have a potential launch date in mind?
For the program, of course, we need funding, and we need real talent and expert to be on board, and because we need a lot of engineering and a lot of studies about the payloads and the onboard computer, the battery management system. For the launching date, I'm not sure yet, but the aim is to be in the next 2 years. Hopefully everything should be launched and ready to be launched.
Will the satellite be launched from Timor-Leste?
No, because we don't yet have the proper infrastructure to launch the satellite in Timor. We have been in talk with different embassies here in Timor, maybe doing a ride share somewhere in Australia or maybe in Japan.
Once launched, how will satellite data be collected and used?
The data will be monitored in ground stations, and then There are several use cases we can use for satellite. One of them is for studies, especially in the area of CubeSat and space studies, and also climate monitoring system. And right now the carbon credit that are trending because we will be the CubeSat will be rotating Timor and then capture the pictures every now and then. So that from those use cases we can use for carbon credits also, I think, and also for farming activities.
The program calls for global partners. What are the challenges and benefits of this collaborative model?
I think the challenges are we have to collaborate with different countries, different stakeholders, different beneficiaries, and we also need, we have a limited talent here in Timor, so we need to bring a proper expert, real talent to be on board and bring to the team and help to make this mission possible.
John Bosco, thank you for talking with RTTL World News.
In international news, the first phase of the National Disability Insurance Scheme alternative for some children will begin in October. Thriving Kids is a part of the government's efforts to reduce the cost of a $50 billion NDIS fund.
So cute. Thanks for coming, guys.
Yes.
At this community hub in outer Melbourne, every family is welcome.
It is a one-stop shop for families, things like playgroup, maternal and child health, speech therapy, OT, GPs.
It's one of 9 across the state run by an organisation called Our Place, each inside a primary school.
Yay, well done.
As the kids play, health and education workers help identify and treat developmental issues.
The sooner we can engage families into the system, they can get the supports that they need when they need them.
Will it be full? Full.
It's the kind of service that could be scaled up as part of the government's upcoming program to ease pressure on the NDIS. Thriving Kids aims to cater for children under 9 with what the government calls mild to moderate developmental delay or autism. Part of the model involves what's known as targeted supports, which include therapy sessions run in places where children live, learn and play. But the workforces expected to deliver those supports have concerns.
We've got an overburdened, under-resourced teaching workforce who are very concerned about the additional administration load.
Teachers are calling for allied health support in the classroom, but those professions also have shortages.
We have a very anxious profession right now. There's a lot of reform occurring in the disability space and it's exhausting. It's burning our profession out.
Some say the workforce issue isn't just about a lack of numbers.
It's more, I think, about how that existing workforce is organised and deployed in a way that can be most effective.
In here? I'm not going to magically believe that suddenly we've got enough speech therapists, but what we do see with the Our Place approach is a better efficiency.
In a statement, the NDIS Minister Mark Butler acknowledges there will be an impact on the workforce, but he says Thriving Kids has been designed by professionals from a range of sectors, including health and education. He adds that Thriving Kids will combine existing and new services to deliver supports for families, another group expected to take on more.
It's not a big deal. There's nothing to be scared of.
Christy Treble is a proud mum of 3 autistic boys. She started a support group for parents at Our Place a year ago.
I definitely wanted to create a village that I knew other parents were needing as well. To have someone that understands what you're about to step into is so important because it is very scary.
Setting up more integrated hubs like this for Thriving Kids might take time, but Our Place is confident it's the way to go.
The results of working together means you do get better outcomes for children and families.
A project to rebuild koala habitats on the New South Wales North Coast is beginning to show signs of success. The first koala has been spotted on land that's being converted from farming to forest.
It's been billed as a resort for koalas. Now this newly planted forest has its first VIP guest.
If you provide the right habitat and the right species, the koalas will come. We know they're in this area.
More than 60,000 trees on this farm near Lismore are the result of a pilot project known as the Koala Friendly Carbon Initiative.
It provides a threefold incentive for landholders. They can earn an income from the carbon credits, they can sequester carbon to reduce climate change, and they can also help us save koalas by restoring their habitat.
Farmers can make millions of dollars in revenue by selling carbon credits. Here at Banyula, KPMG has purchased 25 hectares worth.
It's quite difficult for an organisation to get involved in environmental stewardship, and this gives them an opportunity to do that.
This particular area of the North Coast is a real hotspot for koalas, so we've focused our first 5 plantings here.
It's not just about saving koalas, it's hoped forests like this one will help with regeneration, bringing the land back to its natural state.
You start to see water rush across the land and it's clear, not muddy. Seeing the first koala, it starts to tell you that you're doing something right.
The World Wildlife Fund is now planning more plantings across New South Wales.
We're trying to expand into other regions where we know that this koala is still existing.
During this Holy Week, Catholics are called to reflect deeply on the core of their faith, the passion, death, and resurrection of Jesus Christ. Father Joel Casimir reminds us that Easter is not just a ritual, but a living memory of Christ, sacrifice, love, and presence among us.
Dear brothers and sisters, love is the key how a Catholic or disciple of Christ act, lived, and share his life, dedicate his life to others. So, love as the paradigm for all Christians in the world. Our daily world is needing love. We see everywhere, we find everywhere there are disputes, wars among the nations because of economic interest, because of egoism, because of individualism, because of indifferentism to one another. My ego make me be an adversary of my friends or my brothers or my neighbors. That's big problem that we face today. And Jesus told us to love one another. And I hope that this Easter will transform also the community, Catholic community in Timor-Leste, especially in the city, Dili. And I invite all of us to pray together, to celebrate it with enthusiasm, with a spirit as a one family that gathered together in the name of our Lord Jesus Christ.
And now the weather with Jagedes.
Thanks, Jerry. Here's the weather for tomorrow. Let's start with Dili. Cloudy with scattered afternoon thunderstorms, a top of 33 and a low of 23. Humid and overcast in Bokau with an afternoon thunderstorm or 2, a high of 23 and a low of 17. In Lauten, cloudy with scattered thunderstorms throughout the day, a top temperature of 31 and a low of 20. Cloudy and humid in Bobonaru with the chance of a thunderstorm, a high of 30 and a low of 13. And in Eleu, cloudy and humid, a thunderstorm in the afternoon with temperatures ranging between 28 and 11. Looking abroad now. In Kupang, overcast and humid with scattered morning showers, a top of 34 and a low of 22. Humid and partly cloudy in Bali with scattered showers and the chance of an afternoon thunderstorm, a top of 31 and a low of 25. In Jakarta, partly cloudy with a couple of afternoon thunderstorms, a high of 32 and a low of 24. Partly cloudy in Seoul with temperatures ranging between 22 and 8. In Darwin, mainly cloudy with occasional rain and a thunderstorm, a top of 33 and a low of 23. Partly cloudy with scattered showers in Sydney, a top of 23 and a low of 15. Plenty of sunshine in Lisbon, temperatures ranging between 23 and 12. Overcast in London, a top of 15 and a low of 9. And in Belfast, scattered showers, clearing throughout the day, a top temperature of 11 and a low of just 5 degrees. That's all for now. Back to you, Jerry.
Thanks, Geddes, and thanks for joining us again on the program. RTTL World News will be back with more stories on Thursday. Bye for now.